If you're 50 or older and you feel behind on retirement savings, 2026 is genuinely different from any year that came before it. The IRS has finalized the contribution limits, and for the first time ever, there's a brand new age bracket, 60 to 63, that gets a dramatically higher catch-up ceiling than everyone else. According to the IRS, Americans in that age window can now contribute up to $34,750 into a 401k in 2026. That is not a typo. That is nearly double what someone at age 59 can put in. A provision buried inside Secure 2.0, passed by Congress in 2022, made this possible, and 2026 is the first full plan year it's active. If you are in that window or approaching it, you need to know exactly how this works before your payroll elections for the year are locked in. Let's start with the foundation, the standard limits, so the catch-up numbers make sense in context. The standard 2026 contribution limits. For 2026, the IRS set the standard 401k elective deferral limit at $23,500. That applies to anyone under 50. If you're contributing to a 403b or a governmental 457b plan, the same $23,500 limit applies to you. Now, the moment you turn 50, you become eligible for the standard catch-up contribution. That adds $7,500 on top of the base limit. So someone who is 50 through 59 can contribute up to $31,000 total to their 401k in 2026. That $7,500 catch-up figure has been in place since 2023, and it held for 2026 as well, according to IRS Notice 2024-80. Here's my take on the base numbers. $31,000 is a serious amount of money. If your employer matches even 3% of your salary, you are leaving real money on the table every year you don't hit that match threshold. The right move is to max the employer match first, always, before worrying about whether you can hit the full $31,000. Your tax bracket and cash flow will determine how much beyond the match is realistic for your household. The 60-63 Super Catch-Up. What Secure 2.0 actually changed? Here is where the rules get genuinely interesting. Secure 2.0 created a new provision under IRC Section 404C that establishes a higher catch-up limit specifically for participants who are aged 60, 61, 62, or 63 at any point during the plan year. The IRS confirmed in Notice 2024-80 that for 2026, this super catch-up amount is $11,250. Add that to the $23,500 base, and you get a total of $34,750. Let me say that again clearly. If you turn 60, 61, 62, or 63 in 2026, your 401k ceiling is $34,750. If you turned 59 last year and you turned 60 this year, you just got a $3,750 per year increase in your contribution ceiling compared to what your older colleagues at 59 had access to. This is not automatic. Your plan must adopt this provision, and most large employer plans already have. But my recommendation here is direct. Call your HR or benefits department this week and confirm your plan allows the super catch-up. Do not assume. A small percentage of plans, particularly smaller employers, have not yet updated their documents. If your plan hasn't adopted it, ask when it will. This window ages out the moment you turn 64. Individual variation matters here too. The super catch-up is most valuable if you are in the 22% bracket or higher. If your income is modest and you're in the 12% bracket, a Roth 401k version of this catch-up may actually serve you better long-term because the tax-free growth compounds over the years before you retire. IRA and Roth IRA. Catch-up rules in 2026. Now let's look at IRAs, because the rules here are different, and there's a change worth knowing. For 2026, the standard IRA contribution limit remained at $7,000. The catch-up contribution for people 50 and older is $1,000, bringing the total to $8,000. That $1,000 catch-up for IRAs has been static for years, but Secure 2.0 included a provision to index it to inflation starting in 2024. For 2026, the IRS kept it at $1,000, as inflation adjustments move in $100 increments and the threshold wasn't met. Worth watching in future years. For Roth IRAs specifically, the income phase-out limits matter. For 2026, the Roth IRA phase-out for single filers begins at $150,000 and is completely phased out at $165,000. For married filing jointly, the phase-out range is $236,000 to $246,000, according to IRS Reverend Procter 2024-40. If your income is above those thresholds, the direct Roth IRA contribution disappears, but a backdoor Roth strategy may still be available to you. My position on IRAs is this. If you qualify for a deductible traditional IRA or a Roth IRA, $8,000 per year matters more at 55 than it looks like on paper, because you likely have 10 to 15 years of compounding ahead. The right move is to fund it every year you're eligible, even if you can't hit the full amount. I cover catch-up retirement strategy for late starters, and the IRA rules are one of the most overlooked tools in this space, partly because the dollar amounts feel small compared to a 401k. Don't let the smaller number fool you. HSA catch-up contributions, the triple tax advantage. The health savings account catch-up is its own category, and it deserves attention. For 2026, the HSA contribution limit for self-only coverage is $4,400, according to IRS Reverend Procter 2025-19. For family coverage, it's $8,750. If you are 55 or older, you can add a $1,000 catch-up contribution on top of those amounts, bringing self-only to $5,400 and family to $9,750. That $1,000 HSA catch-up is set by statute and does not adjust for inflation. Here is what makes the HSA uniquely powerful for late starters. Contributions are tax-deductible, growth is tax-free, and withdrawals for qualified medical expenses are tax-free. That is 3 layers of tax advantage in a single account. After age 65, you can withdraw for any reason and simply pay ordinary income tax, which means it functions like a traditional IRA as a fallback. The catch: you must be enrolled in a high-deductible health plan to contribute. If your employer offers an HDHP option, that's the threshold to check. Your specific premium costs and healthcare usage will determine whether switching to an HDHP actually makes financial sense for your household. That is a personal calculation, not a universal answer. How to actually use these limits. Knowing the limits is step 1. Putting them to work is step 2. Here's what I'd do with this information. Start with the employer match. According to Vanguard's 2024 How America Saves report, 96% of plans with a match have a match threshold of 6% or less. Meet that threshold first. Every dollar of match is a 50% to 100% immediate return on your contribution. Nothing else in personal finance competes with that. Second, if you are in the 60 to 63 super catch-up window, raise your deferral percentage now. Don't wait until Q4. IRS rules allow you to change your deferral election at any time, but the window for accumulating contributions across a full calendar year only opens once. 3 months of waiting costs you roughly 1/4 of the annual benefit. Third, fund the IRA or Roth IRA next, depending on your income and tax bracket. If your income is too high for a direct Roth contribution, explore the backdoor strategy with a fiduciary before executing it. There are tax nuances depending on whether you have existing pre-tax IRA balances. Fourth, if you have an HSA-eligible plan, treat the HSA as a retirement account, not a spending account. Pay medical expenses out of pocket now if you can afford to. Let the HSA grow. Save the receipts. You can reimburse yourself years later. There's no time limit on reimbursements for qualified expenses, according to IRS Publication 969. One more number worth anchoring to. According to the Federal Reserve's 2023 Survey of Consumer Finances, the median retirement account balance for Americans aged 55 to 64 is $185,000. The mean is much higher because a small number of very large balances skew the average. If you're near or below the median, these contribution limits represent a real and legal path to closing the gap over a 10 to 15-year window. The math is not hopeless. The window is real. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. This is general education, not personalized advice. Consult a fiduciary before acting. If this breakdown helped clarify where you stand, subscribe to Money After 50. New videos every week focused specifically on catch-up strategies for late starters. Drop a comment below with a retirement topic you'd like me to dig into next, whether it's Social Security timing, 72T distributions, or something specific to your situation. I read every comment and build future videos around what you actually need to know. Next week, we're covering something that could directly affect every Social Security recipient. A proposed $50,000 cap on Social Security benefits, who it hits hardest, and what steps you can take before anything is finalized. You don't want to miss that one. This video may contain affiliate links. I only recommend tools I use personally.